Welcome everyone back to the European Journeyman. In today's episode, we have our first transfer special here at AGF. And as you know, we did manage to stay up on the final day, just about managed it, 1 point clear. Ended up being at least a space above, but we've done okay. But we do need a massive rebuild, I think, in the summer, or at least enough of a rebuild to get us out of this bottom six. I think my goal for next season is to get in the top half. I think that would be good. Whether that gets us into this kind of championship group, whether we can do enough to get into Europe, I don't know. But I think if we could get top half, I think that's an improvement. Financially, the club are still a bit of a mess. As you can see, we have some debts which are being paid off. We do have some sponsorship which is due to come in, which should help this. But yeah, we do definitely need some help financially. As you can see, we don't have anything really to work with. They haven't given us any sort of budget yet. Usually that comes pretty soon after the season, so we'll check in. At the minute, we're expected next season's wage budget to be 215k, so we are fairly above it. Our committed spend is above it as well, so it's going to be tough in terms of what we've got to work with at the minute. We have a goalkeeper coming in, so we don't need to worry about that too much. The back line, I think, is okay. Midfield, we definitely could do with a better ball-winning midfielder. But definitely in attack, we need some better options. I think we need better wingers. I think we need better strikers. We just need better players all around. I think in terms of options, young options off the bench, I'm quite happy with the youngsters we've got. I definitely think they're good enough to feature. You know, someone like him, leading second division player, definitely good enough to be a second choice. Good second division player. Not the best, but there you go. But we've got some players we can probably move on as well. So there's a couple of players. Obviously, the goalkeeper's out of contract. He's absolute rubbish, so he can go. This guy that was on loan, his loan's finished. And then a couple of players are out of contract. He is potentially staying. He hasn't agreed a deal yet. So we may potentially keep him in. Hopefully we would, because he's got lots of potential. But again, he might go. So a couple of players going. A few other players are out of contract in December as well. Again, no guarantees that I'd want to renew any of these. I think obviously they're on quite big money and they're not that good. I think Begimo's okay, but again, they're not that good that I'd have to, want to keep someone on 21 grand a week as a 31-year-old. Absolutely not. So we'll look to move some players on. We'll try and move some stuff on. In terms of the B team and stuff, we've still got a lot of players that are going to be leaving in the summer. So hopefully that should help money-wise, but we've still got a number of players we want to try and move on. Under 19s is not so bad. It's mostly young players, so don't need to worry about them too much. But we'll obviously go through it. We are obviously probably going to be relying on free transfers. We won't really have any money. We may try and get a few Tab or Shigena players in, but it really just depends if we can get any money in. Otherwise, probably going to be relying on free transfers. So we have received our budget for next year. It's a wage budget of 250k, which is okay, and a transfer budget of 637k. So it's a little bit of money. We'll probably just move it into wages though, because I doubt we'll be buying anyone. So we've got about 6k left with 150k. We do have obviously a number of players joining us. Sorry, just the one player joining us. So we haven't got too much committed spending. And then in terms of committed outs, we've got about 44k and nearly £4 million coming in, with it rising to 4.5. So there's some money coming in. We just need to wait for those deals. Thankfully, those will all be around July 1st. So we should get the money as we then need to look at free transfers and potentially bring in a Tab or Sejena player or two. Who knows? So one thing that's happened as we've been kind of progressing is a takeover has taken over. A takeover has happened and taken over the club. Basically, I don't know who it is, but the former director is now the director or something. I don't know. Whatever. So we've got a new person in. What he hasn't done is really clear the debts. He has, but he hasn't. So the way that he's done it, he's also cancelled a few affiliates, which we have a lot of for some reason. A lot of them. Benfica as well, who apparently pay us like 110 grand a year for I don't know what. He's cleared the debts, but he's done it with a loan. So we took out a £5.75 million loan, which now puts our overall loan up to 9 million. So he's kind of cleared the debts, but not really, because we are still very much in debt. Since he last left us, we have done quite a bit of business, so I'll go through some of the exits now, so we don't have to cover them all at that other time. So backup keeper has went to Luzern on a free. This guy, young Danish winger, has left to pay Paris FC for 275k. Daniel Hansen, a young Danish centre-back, 21-year-old, he's went to Nordsjælland for 325k. Lucas something or other has went to a club in Hungary for 165k, and then Lasse Mikkelsen, another one of those youngsters who's just never ever going to be good enough, he has went to a club in Serbia for 175k. So that means that our budget, our transfer stuff has looked good. We have done a couple bits of business. So first off, the first one in the door is Andreas Gulstorff. Gulstorff is going to be our new goalkeeper. He is contracted to Nordsjælland, but his contract was out at the end of the year. He's shown as a leading league player, so I think to get him on a free looks very good. Obviously, we've got Marvin Seibold coming in as well. I scouted him just to compare, to make sure I wasn't signing a goalkeeper when I was already getting a better one. He actually looks slightly worse, so he's just going to be the backup, and then if he's not happy, he can leave. We are in also for a Manchester United youngster, Jack Fletcher. We've offered a deal to. No one else has offered a deal, so at the minute it's looking good. He's very, very quick, very, very physical, got some decent mentals, got some decent technicals, would be a good deep line playmaker, I think. Potentially even play in behind if we do go for that. And we are in for Jorg Mesa. Jorg Mesa is, we've got a bid in for him about 900k. I loved him. Yeah, I think he was amazing. We got him in on a free. He was very, very good. Lots of assists. So I'd love to get him. But we are going to be parting with £1 million. But it's about 7k, which is a lot less than what our current right back is on. So if we could replace him and keep this and get the wage bill down, then that's ideal. At the minute, we've got a little bit of budget and a bit of wage. Obviously, the majority of those outs are still yet to happen. So we will be getting a good bit of money there. Badgie has also agreed to deal to leave the club for quite a decent fee. So we probably need some more players in, of course, but we should be getting some money in soon to hopefully make that happen. So we have reached free transfer day and a lot has happened. We've brought a lot of players in and a lot of players have gone. As you can see, this squad looks like this now. We have... if I can just select them. We have 18 first-team players, 3 currently on their way out as well. B team is much smaller. We don't need a B team. We've already talked about this. One of them's already going. One of them's out of contract in December, so he'll go then. And another one is on a contract, so we just need to... Oh, he's leaving as well in the 23rd. So he's gone. So we've really only got one player in the B team and a couple of players who are all out on loan. We'll see what happens with them. I don't know if we'll keep... I mean, they've all got decent potential, so we'll keep them. Under 19s is looking good. A couple of players are wanted for loans and stuff, but no one really wanted on a permanent. I don't think we'll be looking to loan any of them out anyway. All look good, all look like decent players. No one really around ready for the first team, so we'll just keep them all where they are. And then this is what the first team looks like. So we'll talk about the incomings very quickly. So Marvin Seibold has joined us, a goalkeeper. He actually, now I'm looking at his stats, looks better than the other goalkeeper we signed, so I think he's going to be first choice. We'll bring him in, see how he gets on. He was playing for a team called Ulm, which were in the 3rd tier of Germany, so he's not been playing that high up, so I'm surprised he's as good as he is. Andreas Gulstorff also joined us on a free from Nordsjælland. He is expected to be a star player, so we'll try him out. If the other goalkeeper's no good, he can obviously come in. It's nice to have a Danish goalkeeper, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know which one I prefer. I mean, he's only 5'11". That's kind of short for a goalkeeper, so... Not sure about that. We'll try Marvin first, and then if Gulstorff doesn't like it, we can always just sell him, can't we? And then Jack Fletcher joins us also on a free from Man United. Looks very good. A 12.5k deal till 2031. Gulstorff was a 12k deal till 2031, and Seibold was 8k till 2031. So 2-year deals on all of those boys. Jack Fletcher looks very good, very quick. He's going to be our new playmaker, and then we are going to move Nagel, our genuine wonder kid. He's actually a wonder kid. He's going to go into a ball-winning midfielder with 14 tackling, lots of pace, good work rate, good positioning, decent first touch. Not the best, like, I mean, his technique and his tackling, his ball winning stats and his playmaking stats are pretty similar. He's probably a little bit better as a ball maker. I mean, he's kind of similar in terms of what he's good at. So you can play either side. We're going to play him as a ball maker, a ball winning midfielder, because Fletcher is the playmaker. He can't tackle to save his life, and he deserves to be a first team player. Look at him; he's definitely a first team player. So leading Superliga, that looks much better. So we've definitely got a better team. We are expected to finish 5th, so definitely I think we should be going for top half. Absolutely. Other than that, Poulsen also agreed to stay at the club. He signed a deal. He's going to be our new starting striker as it is. This is what I think we're going to play. Obviously, we'll look to improve it, but this is what it is. Jorg Mesa also joins us on a £900,000 transfer. I think there's some clause as well. So he's going to be our new right back. Did I miss that one? Was he part of the... He was part of last season's, technically. In terms of exits, we also have a whole lot of players. Not going to go over them too much, but a lot of players left on free transfers. This guy left for money. He went to Slovan Bratislava for 1.9 mil. Janis Serra, one of our strikers, he wasn't getting played. He's went to Altak, which I think is in Austria. Yep, it is. He went for 600k. Badji's left to Trnava in Slovakia for 1.2 mil. Another young player who's not really going to play, 250k. It's just a lot of young players who aren't going to be good enough have left for money. So we've managed to free up quite a bit of money. As you can see, money is looking much better at the club. 3.2 million in the positive. Of course, we have a big debt looming over us, so we are still negatively in, in a net balance of debt, but we are looking to move a couple players on as well. Gift Links is on quite a fair whack. We probably don't need him. He can go. Loyola is on a decent amount of wage. We can let him go. And Bejimo has already got a deal, so he's on obviously the biggest wage at the club. In terms of biggest wages now, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think our usual fee will be somewhere around 10k, I think, for new players. I think that would be a good idea. So we've got about 22k in the budget, 750k in transfer budget, so we could potentially look at bringing in another Tabor player, or we could just look at loans, free transfers, sorry. I think free transfers are going to be the way to go. I'd love to get Banachek in. I just don't think we have the money. We'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, if we sell some more players for money, we might be able to bring them in, but for now, with free transfer day, we will look at bringing in free transfers. I've got him on the shortlist, though. I've also got Jake O'Brien on the shortlist. We are also in for this guy, Mads Hansen. He's available for just 190k to be a new right mid. He's Danish. He's been playing in Holland, not particularly well, but he was playing for Nordsjælland and Midtjylland in our league pretty well, but hasn't really made the step up to the Eredivisie, which is fine. He's very determined. He looks like he's a decent player. He's scouting well, so we'll keep scouting him. He may join us. We'll see. I don't think there's anyone else coming in. Apparently some guy on, a couple of staff, but other than that, there's no one else really joining us, and that's not a very big deal. So we should hopefully be able to bring some money in as well, sell some players. We don't really have anyone else to sell in the B team and stuff, so we are very much good as is. So this is what we've got. I think we probably need a centre-back, we probably need better wingers, and we probably need better strikers. So wingers, strikers, and centre-back would be where my aim is. To be honest, centre-back I'm not too fussed on. It's really just wingers and strikers. We definitely need to improve these four. Happy with the midfield. We've got Nick Ullum as a backup playmaker. We've got Casper Green, also a playmaker. Probably also, I mean, one of them will have to play ball when a midfielder. But so we've got our two DMs. We probably need a right back. We've got a centre back. We've got another left back. We've got another goalkeeper. Happy with that. Wingers, I mean, good enough. Are they good enough to be backups? Probably. But if we can get some better players in, obviously some of them can play striker as well. But we definitely need proper strikers and proper wingers in. We probably need improvements as well here. So these lads may or may not stay or go. It just depends if we can improve on them. You know, if we can bring a better player in than Beck, if we can bring a better player in than Back, those are definitely players that could go. Brockstedt is young, lots of potential, happy to keep him. Poulsen, also young, lots of potential, happy to keep him. So hopefully those two won't be starting strikers for us, and we'll be able to bring someone in to start over them. So that's the plan. We'll keep an eye out. Obviously, we may look at bringing in some better midfielders and obviously sending these guys out on loan. But the main four positions we need is this four up here. So we're going to go take a look at the free transfers, and hopefully before our first game of the season, which is the 22nd of July, I'll come back just before then to hopefully show you some of the new boys we've brought in. And we should play some friendlies. Why have I not got that set up? Have I messed this up? No, they should be... They just don't do it, though. That's the problem. They just don't do it. And we really need to get these in. Right, let me do it right now before I forget. Nearby teams... And by the way, if you ever wanted to know what I do for pre-season, I play a load of rubbish teams because you're always going to win, and it builds up. My God, I got scared. My cat came in, barging in. You're always going to win, and it's good for morale. So there you go. So this is what I do. Play all the smaller teams, very small if I can, and get a load of morale going. Bosh. See you back when, hopefully, around here for the new arrivals, and maybe some exits as well. So we have reached the first game of the season, so we are going to do our big wrap-up of all the business we've done. As you can see, we have spent a little bit of money, But overall, we've made quite a bit of money. We are slightly over our budget. We are still looking to bring in a couple of players, and there is unfortunately a couple of players still to go as well. But as you can see, we are within budget. We've still got a little bit to go. But we'll take a look at everything that we've done so far, and then we'll talk about the things that are going to be getting done. So obviously, 1st of July, a ton of players left. We already talked about that. Since then, Gift Links has went to Slovan Bratislava. He was on about 16, 17k, and he was only just kind of okay. So he's went to Slovan Bratislava in Slovakia for £800,000. Obviously, if we're replacing players, bring them in on a free, selling players, it's a good bit of business, isn't it? Felix Begimo has left. Obviously, we've brought in what's it called? Our new right back, Jorg Mesa. There we go. Trying to recall it. We brought him in, so we don't need Begimo. He was the highest paid player at the club to be second choice right back. Didn't seem right. So he's went to Cologne. So he's going to go spend some time in the Bundesliga. So a decent step up for him. Hopefully it goes well for him. Jonas Jensen Abu, a backup centre back who just weren't playing. He's left to go to Sweden for free. Tobias Beck was our winger. He's went to Pekshval in the Netherlands for £2.5 million, so quite a decent fee for him. Felipe Loyola has left. The 28-year-old Chilean was a regular in centre mid, but I think we've got better options now. He's went to play for a team in Czech Republic for $575k, so again good. Some youngsters left. Terry Yegbe, our centre-back, couldn't find an option for him to go out permanently, so he's joined Antwerp on loan. They're paying all of his wage plus £90,000 a month, and then they have a 2.2 optional future fee. If we really need him, we can recall him as well, so no worry there. A couple of youngsters went out on loan. Lars Tiddemans went out on loan. He's went to Helmond Sport in the second tier of Holland. He's gone out on loan for a season there. And then Kazim Khan Karatus was our Turkish backup left back. He was on a fair whack as well. His contract was actually out in December, and Alanyaspor picked him up on a free. We decided to just offer to sell him straight up now rather than wait until December. So we got 100k for him. So it's 100k we wouldn't have got if he'd have gone. And we don't really need him anyway. So that is the exit. In terms of the signings, I think we've done well. Before I even go through them all, as you can see, season preview, we're up to 3rd. So realistically, we've had a very good window considering this team nearly got relegated. This club nearly got relegated last year. So first in the door, we obviously talked about the other boys. First in the door of the new lot is Kike Salas. He is a 27-year-old, 6'2" Spanish centre-back on a 2-year deal. 20 grand, but he's very, very good. Good header, good jump and reach. Everything else he's pretty average at, but he is pretty good. Formerly of Sevilla, played not many games his entire career, so hopefully we'll get a bit of a kickstart here. Just been sitting around playing for, I assume, the Sevilla youth teams a lot. Yeah, just kind of mulling about. I mean, he's not really played at all. And then, weirdly enough, last season, he actually got quite a few games in La Liga. But he's not played at all. Don't know what he's been doing. But yeah, he's hopefully he's going to be our star player. So weirdly enough, it's just a very good player sitting around doing nothing for seasons on seasons. Is crazy. John Aramburu is our new Venezuelan 26-year-old. I mean, we didn't have any of those anyway, but he is new and he's Venezuelan and 26-year-old. He's captain nationally. He can play right back, left back. He's definitely more of a right back, being right-footed, but he could play right back, left back. At 5'9", I really don't think he can play centre back, but he could play on either side. So he's a good rotation option to have. He joined us on a 2-year deal, £12,000. He was playing again in La Liga, but mostly for the Real Sociedad B team rather than the first team. Next one up is Pedro Mendes, a Portuguese 29-year-old striker. He's going to be our new pressing forward. He's 6'2". He can jump, he can head, did good finishing, works hard, decently fast, very determined, bit of flair, bit brave, love to see it. He is on a £16,500 a week deal for 2 years. He was recently playing and scoring pretty regularly in Greece, so not bad at all. Next up is Victor Naro, another Spaniard. He is a 29-year-old Spanish right winger. He can also play on the left, and he can also do a job up front as well. 17 grand a week for another 2-year deal. Quite quick, decent technicals. Mentals are a little bit whack, but hopefully be good enough. He was playing for Lugo. He's been a regular in the third tier, I think that is, of Spain. Obviously played in the second tier for them as well, but he's decided to come over here to Denmark for a couple of years. Next up is Daniel Iversen, 32-year-old Danish goalkeeper. Very good, our new star goalkeeper. Definitely going to be starting him. 15 grand a week, 2-year deal. Very good stuff. Obviously in real life, formerly of Leicester, but has been spending a couple of years in game in Greece as well. Very much spent a lot of his career in England, in and around England. And then one of the former boys, Max Benechak, comes in. He's just going to be a squad player, but I had to get him in. He was so lethal for us at Tabor. I just feel like it's worth the punt. If he's terrible, we can always sell him on. He signs on till December 2031, so it's like a 1.5-year deal. We did pay him £1.1 million for him, so maybe it's a little bit of an overspend given his valuation, but 10 grand a week, not a huge wage. He's happy to be a squad player as well, so I'm happy to have him. And then the last one is Evidence Magopa. What a name that is. Love an African first name. They're always amazing. 13 grand a week on a 2-year deal. 29-year-old internationally capped South African. He is very good overall striker. He's going to be our advanced forward, of course. He has spent most of his career playing and scoring lots and lots of goals. Lots and lots of goals in the South African Premiership for Orlando Pirates. So very good stuff. We've only spent 1.3 million, so a lot of frees, and we've made a lot of money. So you really can't complain. A lot of those are going to be, future clauses and stuff. But now you can see we've got a lot of money coming in potentially, and we don't have that much that we're paying out. We've got a couple of wage contributions as well that we're paying. Really only the Felipe Loyola one's a big one. We are paying pretty much all of his wage, but we got some money for him. So, but other than that, it's mostly just clauses for players we've brought in. Some installments, but mostly it's wage contributions, which of course will only be active till... Okay, we're paying his wage till 2031. How does that work? Oh, I didn't realize it was that long. I wouldn't have taken it. Oh well, whatever. It's only 5 grand. It's not the end of the world. We're only paying 1.5 grand of gift links, and that's only till December of this year. So 6 months of that, and then £350 is nothing, isn't it? So we should be okay. And then we've got some money coming in as well, some installments. Lots of different clauses that hopefully we'll be able to sell. So financially, looking much better, 4.3 million. But there is some more transfer business on the way in. David Iturbe is a Spanish winger. We could potentially be signing him. Looks very, very physical. Hopefully the mentals and technicals are okay. Formerly of Valencia, has actually been playing in La Liga the last couple seasons. And then there's a couple outgoings as well. Marvin Seibold. Now we've got Iversen. We've obviously got Gulstorff as well. We really don't need him, so he's potentially on his way out. He's got a couple of loan offers, which are just going to cover basically all of his wages, so he's going to be probably on his way out. Glenn Rash is on a loan potentially to Viborg in the second tier, who obviously got relegated, so he will, the ones who got relegated, so he's potentially on his way out. Obviously with Banachek coming in, we don't really need him. And then the last one, which is very sad, our wonder kid centre mid Magnus Nagel is on his way out. He is going to go to Man United probably. His release clause was 8.5 million. Tried to get rid of it in the summer, couldn't do it, so unfortunately he is on his way out of the club for 8.5 million. However, they did offer to loan him back to us free of charge, not paying any wages or anything. So we are going to get him for the season. So even though he's gone, he will not be forgotten because he'll still be in the team. So he'll be still our centre mid. It could break down. He might not go, but you never know. We obviously would love to sign him, but love to keep him, but we couldn't. So he's on his way to Man United. He's a wonder kid. It makes sense. It's going to happen. So, but 8.5 million would be lots and lots of money. So we might be able to actually spend a bit of money and bring some players in. I think in terms of what we need, I would still like probably another striker. We've obviously got some youngsters on the bench like Poulsen and Brockstedt who can do a job. Tobias Bach, obviously a backup winger. Banachek, a winger as well. Probably needs someone who's more comfortable on the right. Victor Naro and Mads Hansen can both play on the right, so I guess we have got 2 right mids, 2 left mids, but I'm deciding to play Naro on the left. We'll see. I think I want to get Banachek involved, but obviously he's just a squad player. DM, we probably need some better players. Obviously, Casper Green and Nick Ullum are just good, youngsters who can get some game time. I do think Fletcher's a very good signing on a free, and obviously we'll hopefully get Nagel back as well. Kanagaard, happy enough with the centre-backs. We don't need anything there. And then full-backs, Carl, Amarubu, and Mesa. 2 people who can play right-back, 2 people who can play left-back. Potentially could do with one more, and then goalkeepers we're very good with. So I think maybe striker, and then maybe a DM and let one of these lads go out on loan. But that's it. That's it really. Other than that, it'll just be keeping an eye out, and if there's a really good player becomes available who's better than what we've got, then we'll upgrade. But I don't think we need to really identify any positions except for maybe striker. So most of the players are fit for our first game of the season. Magopo has just come in. He hasn't played any preseason, but he's our best striker, so we're going to get him involved. Same with Iverson. I think he's played one preseason game. The rest are pretty much fit and ready to go. The bench is a little bit of a mixed bag. Some of them haven't played as much over preseason. We do have a couple of injuries going into the first game as well. Poulsen's probably going to miss out, and so is Mesa. Mesa is going to be out for a couple weeks, so 1 to 2 weeks. So hopefully get him back soon, get him involved. So there's going to be some debuts in the next episode, and we are going to be kicking off the next episode with our first 2 games in the Superliga. We've got Brøndby and we've got Nordsjælland, both 2 teams that should be doing fairly well this year, but we are expected to finish above them. So this will be a very good litmus test. If we can beat these 2, then we'll know we are very much in the top. We'll be in a top half, potentially European race. That would be good. Another thing that I forgot to mention, we are doing our Continental A, so we are studying for our next badge. Only 2 more to go. One thing I did forget to do, and this is my bad, I'm going to hold my hands up. I forgot to do the countries. I forgot to optionally take out 2, which I guess it is optional. I don't have to, but I would have liked to. So what I'm going to do is say for this year, I'm taking Gibraltar and Slovenia out, right? So we aren't going to put any new teams in, any new countries in, because, or should we? Hang on, I'm having a brainwave. I think we pick 2 now, and then next, at the end of this season, we then could optionally remove, we could include them in the optional removals, even though they won't be loaded in. Hang on, I'm having a brainwave. Even though they won't be loaded in, we could take them out if we didn't like them, and then get another 2. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to very quickly get up the wheel. We are going to take Gibraltar and Slovenia out, so we can't go there this year, even though they won't be out till 2030. So it's my fault. I did it too late. But we can still go to Norway, Holland, Switzerland for this season. And the 2 teams we load in obviously won't be loaded in again till 2030, so we couldn't go there unless they potentially have a weird start date. But yeah, so I'm going to go get those countries and we will load them in. But again, I've kind of messed up because we can't actually go to them this year. But we could go to them next year. And then at the end of the season, let's say we get Northern Ireland and I really don't want that. I can take that out again. So that's just the way we're going to do it. So basically next season, there could be 4 new nations, but we'll see. But for now, Gibraltar and Slovenia are out, though they won't actually be out till 2030. And now we're going to go to the wheel and get our 2 countries that will be joining us in 2030. My bad, my mistake. I did it too late and I didn't really notice. I was too busy doing the rebuild. I kind of forgot to do the countries bit. My bad. Right, so we've got our wheel. There is only a handful left. Well, I say a handful. There's still quite a lot of good countries left. We really haven't had any. We still haven't had any of the big ones yet. We haven't had a Germany, France, or Italy. I think a lot of these, because we're in decent. I think we're in a decent country now. I'd say a lot of these would probably be a step down. So there's a good chance we won't go to them anyway. We really want to avoid the terrible ones. I think the big 5, bar England, would be where we need to go next. So obviously we've still got Holland, which I think would be a step up. But everything else I think would be from Denmark, kind of a sideway move. I don't think Turkey's that much higher up. I don't think Belgium's that much higher up. I think it's kind of it's maybe a slight improvement. It depends on the club, I guess, as well. But we're going to spin the wheel. We're going to get country number 1. And again, if we don't like it, we can just get rid of it next at the end of the season. We do not have to keep it. But I think we are going to get a big one. And that's a good one. Germany are in. So that is definitely not one we're going to get rid of. We are going to load in Germany. And that, to me, I feel like going from Denmark to Germany, not that crazy. I feel like that's probably happened before. So Germany is in. Germany is country number 1. That's huge. That could be our final country because obviously the goal of the series is to win the Champions League. So you get to a Bundesliga club, you could definitely win it with one of those big Bundesliga clubs. So they're in. Country number 2, I'm already happy. So I'll take a rotter. I don't mind. I really don't mind. Oh my God. We have lucked out. The wheel has been... the wheel's been so kind. Germany and France loaded in. It's a shame we can't get them this season, but they'll be in for 2030. Absolutely no chance. No chance we are getting rid of those. So Germany and France, both countries where you could realistically win a Champions League. They're both in. As you can see, still a lot of dross left. But that's 2 of the big boys out in one wheel spin. That is crazy. So 2030 season, so next season, Germany and France will be loaded in. And potentially 2 more as well, because we'll probably get rid of Norway and we'll probably get rid of someone else as well. Would we get rid of Holland? Probably not. We'd probably get rid of at least Norway, though, to try and let an Italy or a Spain in. We are getting to the point now where it's not going to be 2 every season, because now Germany and France are in, and we've got Holland, and then we've got the country we're managing in. We've really only got the 1 spot left. So, yeah, very good wheel spin, and yeah, good stuff. So I'll just leave it here. We won't go back to Football Manager. There is nothing else to do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all for the next episode, where we will start our season in the first proper season at AGF in the Danish Super League next episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all for more Football Manager very soon.